I wanted to share this unbelievably, totally hilarious and random story. Now, obviously, as you saw in the title of the video, it's called The Bang, or The Loudest Bang. The reason why it's called that is because of a story that happened to me in high school. Now, that was a long time ago now, but I'll never forget it. I don't even know what it was that made me think of this, but I thought about it, and so I'm going to share it because it's absolutely hilarious. So I was in class, and we had a relief teacher, and I believe it was an Asian relief teacher, if I can remember correctly. And it was a little classroom, probably maybe about 20 people in the classroom. And me and a really good friend of mine at school at the time named Cassie, we were like, hey, I think she needed to go to the toilet, or I needed to go to the toilet, whatever. And so like, hey, we're just going to go to the toilet. And the relief teacher just didn't care, like, at all, whatever. So we went to the toilet. And prior to us going to the toilet, we were like chatting and stuff. And the teacher was like, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. And I've always been a talker my whole life. And anyway, so Cassie just kept talking. I kept talking. We kept, being told to be quiet. And most of the other the classmates were really quiet, shy people, and I obviously wasn't. So they weren't saying nothing. They were just laughing because we were making jokes and being silly and all that sort of stuff and just having a good day or whatever. And then so Cassie's like, hey, I need to go to the toilet. I'm like, yeah, I think I need to go too. So we ended up leaving the classroom. and so as we left the classroom, went downstairs to the toilets because they were underneath the block, and our classroom was upstairs. And so we were gone for quite a while, whatever. And so I've never have I ever done this as loud as what I did this day. Like, it was the loudest ever. It was so loud. Oh my gosh, it was so loud. So we walked back in. We walked back into the classroom, and Cassie just, like, Cassie walked in front of me back into the classroom, and as loud as I possibly could, and that I've ever done it in my entire life, the classroom was dead quiet. Like, they were dead quiet. So everyone was head down, writing in their books, because we had pen and paper back then, not computers. That's how old I am. They were literally writing in their books what the relief teacher was writing on the board, and her back was facing the whiteboard or the blackboard, whatever it was at the time. And so Cassie walked in just in front of me, and then I was just a couple of steps behind her, and I took the opportunity, and literally, as loud as I possibly could, I literally went bang, and I yelled it as loud as I possibly could.
A few moments later.
Every single person, like, jumped 10 feet, and it was the funniest thing I've ever experienced in my life. And Cassie was in front of me, and she just fully crapped herself. Like, she just jumped 10 feet in the air. But the funniest part about it for me was seeing the teacher. Seeing the teacher jump so high that her pen went flying in the air, or whatever she was writing with at the time went flying in the air. It's just seeing the sea, just watching the sea of body of classrooms with their heads down like this on their thing, and they all just jump up at the same time. It was the funniest thing I've ever experienced. And I remember it took me, I literally have sore cheek, my cheeks are hurting right now from laughing so hard at this. But I'll never forget, like weeks later, literally, like that came up in conversation. And every time it came up in conversation, you know, in the group of friends that were hanging around at the time, everyone just burst out laughing all over again because it was just so funny. It literally was the funniest thing I've ever, or one of the funniest things I've ever done in school. And yeah, it was hilarious. And stay, if you want to click, I'm about to tell you another really funny story about sex ed. So yeah, click the link and yeah, you'll see that it's called sex ed. So yeah, click the link for that. But that's my story about the loudest bang I've ever done, and it was so funny. Oh man, what a belly laugh! It was gold. The good old days.